So welcome everybody to June's edition of Crafty Crows. We've had a little bit of chat to get us all warmed up, and we're very excited that we have a headliner today, Suzy Aspell. It's a good poetry pal of mine. I'm just going to do some introductions, housekeeping, and then I'll read a poem in honour of Suzy to make her feel even more embarrassed before she does her set. We've got some fabulous people on the open mic. There is a little space if anyone's come in and hasn't put the name forward. I think you can still do that. But otherwise, we're going to have a great night. So let me give you some announcements or housekeeping, I think, first. Please mute for each poet. This means that they can have the silence and reverence they deserve as they're performing or reading their poetry. But by all means, show your appreciation at the end. Come off mute, clap, shout. Well, maybe not shout. Show your appreciation in the chat as they perform their poetry. We are being recorded, so please only share poems that you're happy to class as being published. And open mic poets, you've got 3 minutes for your performances tonight, so please keep an eye on the time and make sure your poems fit within that time limit. I've already said this, but please, if you want to share your bios, books, and events, we love to hear about them. We want to know what's happening in our community. Do that in the chat. We've had a few of those shared already, which is brilliant. And follow those people that you like the poetry of.
I'm sorry,
Um,
what was that time limit again?
the time limit's 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. So, the Gloucestershire Poetry Society is a volunteer-led society, so please spare a donation if you can, or even better, consider joining with a membership. That would be brilliant. So that's our housekeeping done. I will share a poem out of my book, Unbroken, and before before Suzy and I were published poets, we were learning how to get published, and we were at workshops together and sharing poetry, and we've been doing this for a few years now, haven't we, Suzy? And Suzy became my poetry pen pal, and this is called Poetry Pen Pals. It's after Your Like by Sylvia Plath. You are the horse running, muscles rippling. I am the thudding of hooves on well-trod turf. Your movement like gold dust in sunbeams. I am the wooden curtain rings sliding on the pole. You are the gently wafting curtain at the open window. I am the young boy's whistle in the street below. You are the milk van floating on the road. I am the rattle clink of empty cratered bottles. You are the vast beauty of the arched rainbow. I am the hushed breath of awe from weary workers. You are the kaleidoscope mirrors with colours shifting constantly. I am the crunch, crack, turn as the beads resist the twisting. And if you don't know, that's about Suzy's hyperphantasia and my aphantasia. So yeah, okie dokie. We are into the agenda, and we have on the open mic first. I'm just going to check the chat in case it's changed, but it hasn't. It's Laura. Laura, are you ready to share your poems with us?
Yes, thank you very much. May I share the screen, please?
Let me see. Jason can do that for you. Just a second.
Okay.
Okay, that should be now active.
Yeah, that should work. Thank you so much. It's great to be here. So this is called, it is for the Trump Derangement Syndrome Anthology, and it's called The Tiger is Back. City girls can't do anything, my grandmother said, in the 60s into the 90s. But we moved to the country, where women held babies, baked pies, trained horses, kept their mouths shut, found what we thought was the past, this violent, scrubby land where Comanches and panthers once roamed, where our neighbors stole livestock, prayed to their Christian God, and vilified cities. This violent, scrubby land that hosted post-Civil War a gang called the Gentlemen's Club. Terrorists who murdered for land, burned houses, sniped little boys off mules. Their leader, the Tiger, known but not caught, though the FBI intervened. The turn of one century, blacks thrown out of jobs, whites wanted, thrown out of town. The turn of the next century, and this violent, scrubby land waited, claws out, waited, watching to report our liberal ways, to punish. As a Hispanic friend accompanied us, head bowed into the Catholic Church, whispered, practice humility. Waited for the future to emerge as the Proud Boys, the Oath Takers, the QAnon seeped up from dried up creek bottoms, slithered out of massacred settlers' graves, raised up from used up cotton fields, hatched from spittle of tiger, from blood of tiger's prey, stood, smirked, strutted. Baseball bat in hand, coon caps on head. As snow began to fall, they built a snowman, cinched a red tie round his neck to make America great again. Scaled the Capitol walls, grabbed a flag, ran through the legislative chambers, danced, hooted, peed on Pelosi's desk, smiled for the photographer, scraped the dirt of Mills County, Texas from their fingernails, left the trailings on Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's Bible. Bellowed, for Daddy and Mama, for my wild rose of pecan bayou, I ride this range, I crow. I've got you by the tit, America, against a rock, down in the dust of my birth. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you so much for sharing that, Laura, and for what you popped in the chat there. So yeah, brilliant start. Thank you. Next up on the open mic, we're going to go to Michael Sindler. Michael, would you be ready to read?
Okay. I was busy typing something in, so I'll just say it that Laura Froer's piece, just the performative aspect of it alone was spectacular, but the whole of it, obviously, just truly great. I wanted to start. Well, I mean, this is the only time it's a monthly thing, but I did want to go ahead and start with a piece to celebrate gay pride and, well, LSBG, the whole range. And this is called Copacetic. I see you exactly as you're supposed to be. I see you knowing that biology is more than just binary. I see you as authentic, brave, and true. I see you awestruck how you thrived and grew past torments you were put through. I see you scared and scarred but not daunted. I see you defeating ghosts that left you haunted, no longer feeling lost and unwanted. I see you as your confidence grows. I see you love the face your mirror shows, proud of the true self you've exposed. I see you unbroken and unapologetic, compassionate and empathetic. I see you and know that you are copacetic. And I know there's a lot of people here, so I'll just do that one. Thank you very much.
Oh, Michael, we wanted more. You left us wanting more. What a great poem, though, for where we are today. Thank you so much. It was great to hear you. Next on the open mic, we have got Ed Poetastic. Ed, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready because my name is Eddie. I'm sorry about my camera. It's acting kind of wacky. Thank you, Kate, for being great. And thank you, Jason, for being a bright sun. Hello, my name is Ed Poetastic. I'm feeling fantastic. Please, in time to join my rhyme. Five for sublime. My first piece is called Clad and Clutter. We are all turtles, growing through hurdles, carrying our boulder, getting a bit colder, growing through our pace, no time to waste. Carrying your insecurities, why carry theories? Carry your regrets, why carry a threat? Carrying your sadness, why carry numbness? Carrying your shame, why carry the blame? Carrying your responsibilities, why carry insensitivities? Carrying your anger, why carry an anchor? Carrying your mistakes, why carry headaches? Carrying your sins, why carry linchpins? Carrying your past, why carry whiplash? Carrying your expectations, why carry isolations? Don't carry too much, ease in the clutch. Get out of your shell. Is it ringing any bells? It's not a part of you. You know what to do. I know it weighs a ton. Toss it and enjoy the sun. It's your burden to bear. It's not a burden if you share. I can't because I'm shy. Have to really ask why. Don't stay closed or hidden. Your story hasn't reached an end. You're not just a turtle, but somebody. You're still the life of the party. Please drop it and just reach out. Believe. This is what life is all about. Thank you.
Yay! Thank you, Ed Poetastic. Your rhymes are fantastic. Love that. And yeah, well, everyone's given us their sort of best tonight. This is awesome. We're loving it. Next on the open mic, we have big surprise drum roll because I've lost my list. I know it's in the chat, but I can't find it right now. It is Ashley Edge. Ash, are you ready?
But I've got a cat in my face.
Oh no.
My book's out in the next couple of days, so I'm going to read a poem from that rather than celebrating Pride Month. Although I'm celebrating Pride Month in the very fact that I'm bringing the book out during it. So, and there is queer poems in there. But yeah, I'm not in the mood to read one. So I'm going to read you a poem called Beauty in the Beast. It's about safety, finding your safe space. Beauty and the Beast. Mosquitoes buzz and pierce our flesh, hungry. Fire ants sting and bite, an army's picnic for veteran expats. We, their feast, can merely scratch the flaming rash and swollen skin. Transported from the pain, the incessant itching, swim gentle, backstrokes in the ocean. Eyes shut, bright sunlight cuts through eyelids too thin to hide our imagination. Where the hawk soars over untold stories of foot soldier fairies, carnivorous mermaids, cowering trolls and sentient spicy saffron. The water sparkles, glitters as we drift on our back, ears filled with muffled, waterlogged silence. Skin soothed, let us stroll along our beach, sandy shore at the mouth of our cave, micro lives moulded like clay into this haven of limestone. Sun bleached and salt water soaked, the rocks glisten as Poseidon's roar thrashes waves, a hypnotic shower of fearsome nature. Lean back, nestle into the cold, jagged rock, embrace the sharp solidity. Take a shell, a conch, raise it to freshly soothed ears and listen to the purr of the dragon as he sleeps a slumber so deep he will twitch taloned claws, lip trembling over deadly teeth, tantalizing you into stroking his iridescent blue scales. Fearless, we can rest, enveloped by our sinuous serpentine guardian. Thank you.
No, you can't stop there.
Just the one tonight. Just the one tonight. Because
No,
tonight it's all about
no.
Suzy. So yeah.
Yay.
I will
Thank you,
share my
Ash.
link though, so you can pre-order it.
Yeah, lovely.
Like 2 days it'll be out.
Remember to do that. Or go straight to Ash and get a signed one.
Yes.
There's that as
I
well.
will share how to do both of those things.
Thank you. Well, that was awesome. And thank you very much. And next on the open mic, we've got Jude. Jude Marr, are you ready?
Indeed, I am.
Good.
I hope I haven't read this one here before. I've read it in a few places recently, and of course I never make a note of where and when, so apologies if you've heard this before. It's called Of Stars and Ships and Coelacanths. Some say that the stars we see with our naked eyes, because they are so far away, are almost certainly already dead when their light reaches us. This is cool to think about if you like history or contemplating your mortality, or if you're a poet. In truth, though, the stars we see without a telescope are in the Milky Way, which is only about 4,000 light years away, and those stars do not die with frequency, and we city dwellers rarely see them anyway. But what's cool is that starlight can be seen underwater, which means that sea creatures also have stars in their lives, their nights connecting them to the depths of space and time, the possibility of light, although the deeper they are in the ocean, the farther they are from that possibility. Coelacanths live far enough down that, as you likely know, they were long thought to be extinct. This is what we mean when we say out of sight, out of mind. At their depth of around 1,000 feet, the light is dim, like a flashlight when the battery is dying, or a star-shaped nightlight in a baby's room. But coelacanths are low energy. They crave gloom. They favor canyons and caves and rocks known to the snagged fish line of their ancestors for 400 million years. They walk with their fins. They know what they know. $400 million, or euros or pounds, is an unimaginable amount, although much less than $1 billion. The rich white men who went down with the Titanic would, many of them, be billionaires if they lived now. The ship that defines them, the parts not eaten by sea creatures or worn to sand, lie in darkness on the ocean bed at 12,500 feet, an unimaginable depth. No starlight, only the scattered facets of a chandelier. And I think we are connected to this wreck by the anchor chain of human history. We may know ourselves by what we take, by who we leave behind, and by whose names we record.
Well, let's just say, Jude, I haven't heard that one before, and if I hear it again, I would be delighted. So it was incredible. Thank you. Oh, look at all the hearts bursting there. That was beautiful. Okay, Rose, you're next up on the open mic. Are you ready? Over to you.
Okay, so these aren't too long, so they'll probably fit 2 in, but stop me if it's too long after the first. Anyway, this one's called Something Has Gone Wrong for Insects, Charity Says. It was the year the hummingbird hawk moths never showed up to feast on the waiting banquet of pink valerian which I allow to colonize one side of the drive, self-seeded into the narrow gap between tarmac and curb. The plants billow so I can barely squeeze from the car or get my bike through. It's worth it to see the daytime moths zipping along the candy-floss flower heads, beating wings too fast to see, long tongues supping nectar conjured from this stolen strip of land. The neighbour's agile ginger Tom found no reason to lie in wait below the butterfly bush, instead sheltered sulky under cars. It was either too hot or too wet for my liking. I fretted at sun-damaged skin, replaced the seedling beans and cabbages I'd nurtured, only to see new ones chewed to stumps overnight. Chickens grew to recognise my bucket of snails. I let a monstrous teasel in the lawn by the bird feeder grow to twice my height, and ivy overhung the greenhouse like storm clouds, tomatoes inside stretching for light, fruits tiny. I wanted to be out getting fit, slept badly, had to admit that I was lonely. There were days when little more got done than a pan of homemade soup. Some of this I put down to climate change. Shall I go on? This one's called Why We Had to Leave. Still on the climate change theme. Those days the sun was a hammer, and the wind so worn out it dropped even the dust it had been carrying. Like a man returned from war, able only to sit vacant, empty-handed, staring at the ground. Rain was a story from a different time. Village dogs, limp as rags, laid themselves on cracked earth beneath the barren walnut. Flies revolved, hungry for spit or tears. Crickets rubbed their dry wings until the air throbbed like a wound. Hands that remembered birthing tubers from dark earth, shucking plump kernels from profligate husks, pressing seed into damp furrows, now hung between seated knees, empty even of prayer. A lone hawk's cry ricocheted between bleached land and monstrous sky, like shot off battered tin sheet.
Gorgeous poetry, Rose. Thank you so much. Lots of lovely sounds and images there, and plenty of time for 2 poems, people. When you do like Rose did. Okay, we have got Harry Owen next. Harry, are you ready?
Sorry, I was muted.
It's all right. You're there now.
I am here, and I hope everybody can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can.
Okay. Well, thank you, first of all, for letting me in. I'm in South Africa, and it's a long way to Gloucestershire from here. And the weather is nothing like as good as yours seems to be. So it's howling gale outside. But can I just say how much I've enjoyed all the poetry so far, but particularly Jude and Rose just then, because a lot of the poetry I write, and 2 I'll read if I may this evening, are about the natural world. Jude, I don't know if you know Jenna Plewes' poem called Extremophile about the ocean depths. It's very well worth finding if you can. Anyway, I've got 2 poems, both from my new book, which is here. It's called Mind Forest. The first one is called Boneyard. I sit propped against a boulder in a boneyard of stones. Nothing much moves except for a few stunted bushes and the pages of this book struggling to escape in the afternoon breeze. Speak to me, you skeleton stones, sun-bleached and scattered. Here you are, surplus, abandoned like some desert dig, but an echo of your voice shuffles like a wraith across the arid ground. Speak, I am your child. How diaphanous life is, how thin, as if you cannot begin to breathe unless first you die. Boneyard, what is there for me to learn from you? Some stillness, perhaps, tranquility, a welcome. Not a lizard shows itself, not a snake, not a mind. They're all here somewhere, but I simply can't find them. Yes, I know, that's what boneyards are for. They store all of life's secrets, clenching them dry. That's the first one. Thank you. The second one, also from the same book, I wrote after I'd spent some time, about an hour maybe, sitting with a tree, and we had a conversation. The tree is in a fragment of forest right in the southern tip of Africa. It's the most southern indigenous forest remnant on the African continent. It's called Platbos Forest. And I sat with this tree, a milkwood tree, which is reputed to be over 1,000 years old. and he gave me some advice. This is it. Forest bathing. Advice from an ancient milkwood. Put down some roots. Be anchored in this soil. Wait for the mosses to find you. Be still. Reach out in every direction, high and low, above and below the ground. Whatever springs up around you is fortune. It will come and go, keep you company for a while, and disappear. But you, or the memory of you, will remain. You are wrinkled now, slow and gnarled, and some will find you ugly. You are not. Presence in the earth is never ugly. Be a healer. Move through the forest with your generations, regenerations, and laugh in the face of the chainsaw. Cherish the spiders, ants, snails, even if you don't enjoy them. They too are living. Be an ecosystem. Invite life in. Spread your green kindness. 10 milkwood centuries make up this moment. Slow down. Your years are not mine. Progress doesn't have to be a race, and hurried changes are seldom rich. Growth is, though, and renewal, even if they must take another 1,000 years. So be calm now, friend. Rest here in my company. Thank you for having me.
Oh, look gorgeous, Harry. Your poetry is rich too. Wonderful stuff. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we have our last poet for the first half of the open mic, and it's Bryan Franco. Bryan, are you ready?
I am, Kate. I just want to say how wonderful it is to be back in England. It's been a long time for me, and I remember back in 2020 and 21 and 22, I used to go to so many things every single day, and I really miss all of y'all. So let's see what I have for you. I'll do this one. It's called Why I've Decided to Legally Change My Name to Futility. Why I've decided to legally change my middle name to Futility. I think I live in a constant state of chaos, which I'm pretty sure I don't have the stamina for. Of course, like other mental conditions, chaos manifests differently for different people. And since chaos is a purely environmentally charged situation, there is no chemical medical solution or clinical psychological therapeutic methodology to counter chaos. Sometimes the only solution is to sit still and not talk to myself. But because I've never been too good at sitting still, not talking to myself while sitting still while contemplating chaos always ends up requiring vocal conversational thought reverberation, which, if done in front of others, gets me othered by the others who are in earshot of my voice. So when someone asks me if I'm talking to myself, I just tell them I'm a poet and I'm practicing reciting a new poem. This next piece is called The Eagle Next Door. I grew up in a split-level house on a cul-de-sac with a male magnolia tree in the front yard. When I was 15, while sweeping leaves off the garage roof, I slipped and fell into a pricker bush. I was a bit scratched and bruised, but uninjured otherwise. Just another day on Fernhill Court. One day, my mutt Ruff came home with a huge cowbone in her mouth. It so happened other neighborhood canines brought back tasty bovine bones to their homes. It turned out that farmers on the edge of town had slaughtered several sick cows and dumped the bodies behind the big drainage ditch in a clearing called the Clay Pits, which was accessible from a dirt road. Just another day on Fernhill Court. My next-door neighbor, Ann Duke, a.k.a. Eagle Eye, had a British bulldog named Betty Boop that came from a long line of AKC champions. One day, a Labrador retriever dug under her backyard fence and impregnated Betty Boop. Of course, Eagle Eye had to get Betty an abortion so her future puppies could have AKC papers. Just another day on Fernhill Court. Male magnolia trees do not produce flowers. Thank you very much, everyone.
Oh, we miss hearing you, Bryan. It's good to get your poetry into our ears. It's wonderful. Thank you for being here. Absolutely. Appreciation in the chat there. Right. Here's the moment I've been waiting for. I don't know about you. I would like you to prepare your ears and prepare your mind for the ever beautiful, kind, and truthful planetary poetry that Suzy brings to our hearts. That is not her bio introduction. That was me waxing lyrical about my friend. Okay. Suzy Aspell lives and works in Bedfordshire, UK. She has worked in the airline industry for nearly 40 years. Oh my goodness, Suzy, you do not look like you have. And since 2008, as an English tutor with students struggling with dyslexia and ADHD. Her work has appeared in Sledgehammer Lit, Spelt Magazine, The Ekphrastic Review, One Rainbow, and Pop Shot Magazine. Suzy performs regularly at open mic events, and her passions include art, politics, people, and the planet. Suzy's poems are inspired by a deep curiosity about what it means to be human and the impact we have on each other and our planet. Her debut collection, Webstrung, was published by Poetic Edge Publishers in January 2026. So this is beautiful, fresh poetry, and it's over to Suzy.
Thanks, Kate. That's a lovely, wonderful introduction. Thank you so much. So happy to be here and sharing all my poems with you today. I'm going to consciously take a deep breath and slow down. Okay. I'm going to give you a boring fact about myself. I'm actually a trained auditor. And why is that pertinent? It's because I love seeking the truth. I have to know what's at the middle of everything. And for me, despite all the chaos and everything else is going on around us, there is only one planet Earth. This is it. We haven't got another chance. And we're all living together on this planet, and we need to be taking care of this our home. It's our home, and we all live here and share it. So I want to try and raise people's awareness, keep climate change in people's minds despite everything that's happening. I find it quite spiritual when I'm talking about planet Earth. So I'm going to start with this one. It's called Hospitality for Gods. Fleeting finds of nature, entwined twigs and coloured paper, twisted fragments of life adorn thresholds and mountain shrines, to give thanks and welcome deities. Straw rope, bitter oranges, green ferns, white paper ritual strips mark borders to portals, signalling here is a place of rest. Enter, please, stay a while. Here you will find generosity of spirit. Planet topography. This earth of green, patchwork of moons and crop circles, navigate fields, cities, countries, follow the wind-riven fingerprint whirl of humanity upon which we live. For better or worse, beauty stabbed, gouged by light, and so much darkness, a palimpsest of tragedy. Each war a world of pain, and though we emerge as pupae shedding form, fly as butterfly or moth, we cannot impress deep enough the pain to prevent madness from happening again. We cannot breathe enough green to stop our veins bleeding out. And here, my next one is a nice short creation myth, saying how we are all entwined on this one planet. I carry 3 ceramic bees in a blue pouch. Honey, elixir of dreams. From Appalachia to ancient Egypt, symbolic bee of royalty, health, wealth, and purity. Good luck charm. Messenger between heaven and earth, for bees are sage. The sand people of Africa spin a story of a bee carrying a praying mantis across the widest river. Exhausted, the bee lay the mantis on a floating flower, planted a seed in its body before it died. The first human. Bees and humans entwined for eternity. Another big worry of mine is the the melting ice. So we all know that the Arctic is breaking up. We all know that the ocean is warming. We all know that cities are in danger of being flooded and drowned. So this one is called Mapping the Arctic. Red flags flutter, twitch in whistling winds. Slip-slop feet squeak on compressed snow. Lying on backs, on flat ice, our profile's mountainscape. We inhale silence, breathe. Anemometers spin, pin us as crusts melt freeze melt. Ice recycles itself. We archive climate in logbooks, ice core colonnades, or circles of standing stones. Bone stress, desiccated litter so thin you could cut fingers, paper bears, strung like bunting. Gusts of wind, skeleton wave, spirit scream across the void. We are upside on a down world, semi-solid in a shifting landscape. And the next one is about the fragility of the climate, of Earth, of our lives on this planet. It's called the butterfly catcher. In the distance, butterflies flicker, flash between trees, scenting sugar, where the lepidopterist waits with a net and delicate scissors. Rising on warm thermals, blue admirals and red Jezebels flutter as iridescent snow inside an Earth-sized globe. An egg sandwich wafts salt and pepper butter. The lepidopterist sits with his back against the trunk and chews. Smoke spirals from his tea flask, hangs as steamy vapour. Above his head, a purple emperor hovers. Please bear with me because this is the longest poem now that I'm going to read that I've ever written. I never know if I'm going to write another long one again. It was inspired by myself being on holiday in Spain. It was absolutely beautiful in a gorgeous cove having lunch. And I could see the waves wafting in on the beach. And I couldn't quite understand what was happening. So when after lunch, I went down to the beach and it was really scummy. The sea and where it was coming in was yucky. And that's disgusting. And I blamed the sea. And then I realized, well, it's not the sea's fault. It's what we put in it is what's coming out. So this poem was inspired by that experience. Sea loneliness. Sea diversity. Deep, deep blue. Turquoise, ultramarine, mauve violet blue. Whales, dolphins, porpoises, seals, walruses, manatees, sea otters, sea snails, fish. Sunlight zone, twilight zone, midnight zone, the abyss. Mollusks, crustaceans, jellyfish, sperm whales preying on giant squid. Spiky sea urchins, fangtooth fish, coffin fish, daggertooth, viper fish, vampire squid. Coral polyps, lampreys, frilled shark, blobfish, northern stargazers, anglerfish. Ocean waves ebb and flow. Minerals, salt, sand, gravel, manganese, copper, nickel, iron, cobalt blue, dark ink, inky blue, invertebrates. Sharks, seabirds, sea lions, turtles, crawfish, whelks. Humpback whales. Pink anemone fish swim in blue anemone patches. Shellfish, filter feed, lobsters, bob. Plant life, tiny algae, phytoplankton, photosynthesis, oxygen. Cold, dense salt water. Hadal zone, starfish, tube worms, uncharted depths. Sea. Depleted stock, overfishing, coastal pollution, habitat destruction, debris. 100 million tonnes, 450 years to break down plastic, fossil fuel acidification, Water sewage treatment plants spew fertilizer nutrients, swill. Ocean chemistry altered. Pesticides, emulsified oil, air pollution, poisonous algae, cholera, ecological balance, unbalanced. Military sonar disruption, sound killing sound. Erosion ocean, seaweed, heat destruction. Kelp forest deforestation, nowhere to hide young grey whales. Coral bleaching, global temperatures cooking coral reefs alive. Rising sea levels, sedimentation, tourism, invasive species. Ocean plundering, degrading, exploiting. Microplastics, more microplastics in the ocean than stars in the Milky Way. Milky, murky sea. Cigarette butts, fishing gear, plastic bags, creels, fishing companies hiding dead penguins. Still life. When the sound of the last green bee-eater is trapped in the webbed box, spells will be lost, windows will close. Old growth trees, chopped and shaped. Artist carpenter hands will encase wineglass, thimblefuls of nuts and seeds. Dolls' heads will hang on thinnest threads, bound but not trapped. Hummingbird beaks will seek nectar behind glass. Profit and loss. Oil in the delta. Thick black sludge everywhere. Aged infrastructure cast aside, abandoned. Careless oil corporations abandon life, suck black gold, hoard in luxury boxes. Life sucked dead. Gold rainbow sheens ebb and flow. Bitumen sludge, a body cream. Rainbow sheen, body cream of cancer. Hydrocarbon legacy of chronic exploitation. Fighting in courts, legacy of hand-wringing, neglect and grain offering. Lawless oil C-suite executives offer crumbs. Excuses slick from empty tongues. Oil slicks, local villagers extracting scraps. Oil in the delta, thick black sludge everywhere. Bear with me, one final deep, dark one to go. This is not a place of honour. Sunken networks of tunnels and struts support the surface. Man-made waste lies beneath. Danger interred deep emanates. Dissonant and mournful whistling haunts uninhabited, unnatural land. Inhale burning dust, taste charred ash and powdery bones. Throb nervously, scrutinise hostile architecture, landscape of thorns, codling moth and apple scab. Rubble blocks and spike fields shun future ghosts, restless, desperate to blizzard, desolate space. So we need just to lighten up a little bit now. Slightly. If we dance the dance of the hummingbird. If we dance the dance of the hummingbird, the age of man will pass. The vacuum will swell, cell by cell, with animals in rhyme with nature. Thorny necklace of man strangling earth, torn. Celestial navigation of birds will wrap planet Earth in invisible contours, love charms of joy and freedom. Birdsong symphonies will ring out into the ether. Those on other planets will respond. It will only be us who are lonely, long forgotten particles of ash, spinning tinier, tinier, tinier until gone. And there's so much blue and so much green in my head, so I had to get it down on the page. There's all the blue and all the green. Insects embedded in amber, we dream night after night, sleep cleansing our brains, removing all the blue and green. Tomorrow there will be fresh music. Sky and ocean are green, our hearts are blue. There's heather on the wind, midnight in lightning, thunder booms beneath our feet. We try to close the doors, the sky is breaking in. We do not have enough room to hold it all in. Tomorrow there will be fresh music, removing all the blue and green, sleep cleansing our brains. We dream night after night, insects embedded in amber. Okay, next one, Gaia. You are life and death always. Seeds live inside you. You are life cycle. Day and night seeds ride a thermal tide. Mushrooms in the dark, spores in the cap. Dark mushrooms spore and bloom on the cusp. Push heads into sunlight, embrace warmth. Heads push, sunlight, fruits warmth. Forest floor, a feast. Deliquescence draws ink. Ink drawn from the fungi forest floor forces spiders to leave their webs, die. Zombie spiders die. Empty lacework, tangled mess of cobwebs, sticky to touch. Tangled cobwebs, spiders fuzz-strung. You are life and death always. And because we have to have hope, I'm going to finish with this one. Songbird. Songbird flits from tree to tree, glimpse of wing, whir of flight, pauses, opens its throat, to sing all the songbird notes. Glimpse of wing, whir of flight, songbird vibrates orchestral chorus, to sing all the songbird notes. Earth spins, a celestial audience. Songbird vibrates orchestral chorus, futures flash, aurora borealis. Earth spins, a celestial audience. Iridescent stars in forest constellations. Futures flash, aurora borealis. Pause. Opening songbird throats, iridescent stars in forest constellations, flit from tree to tree. Sing all the songbird notes. That's me. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for taking the time. I really appreciate it and love being here with you all. Thank you for allowing me to read.
Oh, Suzy, more than allowing you, that was such gorgeous craft, and your natural gift at poetry shines through, capturing our hearts. So thank you so much to you. Everybody, come off mute, show your appreciation for Suzy Aspell.
I loved it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Beautiful.
Thanks, Suzy. We did it. Well done.
Thank you. And I did I read slow enough?
You did amazing.
Excellent.
So proud of you.
Thank you.
Talent, you. Oh,
Gorgeous. It was so lovely to hear you read some of those poems that I've kind of walked along with you, some of them, and it's just beautiful to hear you perform them so wonderfully. Yeah, thank you.
You can't tweak them anymore.
No, stop it now. They're published.
Yeah.
They're published in an amazing book. And
Can you tell me what the book is called, please? I didn't get
Yes, it's called Webstrung.
I'll pop you the link in the chat again, mate, so you can order a copy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Get one direct if you're in the UK. She'll sign.
No, I'm not in the UK. I'm in South Africa, but I'd like to be able to get one.
You can definitely get it online, and it's available globally online.
Thank you. I really did enjoy the reading.
Amazing.
And we've also, I've popped you the link as well, Suzy, just so you know, with the ekphrastic images link. There's a link tree, so any ekphrastic poem, you can literally go onto the link tree and click the link and look at the image whilst you're reading the poem.
I did forget to say that, Ashley. Thank you very much.
I
meant to say that at the beginning. Some of these poems are ekphrastic. All the references are in the book.
they stand alone. So do you know what I mean? Which is what makes you such a talented ekphrastic writer. But yeah,
But
then it's a
the
nice little bonus.
excitement is if you buy the book and follow the links, you get even more
Yeah, exactly.
visual imagery as well as the poems as well. So amazing stuff. Thank you so much, Suzy. Thank you to all of the first half open micers. You two were amazing. And what we're going to do now is take a little break to refresh ourselves and to come back at about 8:05 when I will give you a couple of announcements and maybe share another poem. And then we have the amazing second half poems from our open micers. So take a break and see you back here. Okay, welcome back to the second half of June's Crafty Crows. Before we get started on the open mic poets, we have got a couple of announcements for you. They are our Crafty Crows for the 1st of July. It will be a feature with Lucy Hoyschen. And then on the 5th of August, it's Karen Downs Barton. So I would love you to come along to those two events and listen and come to the open mic. The other thing I want to let you know about is the open poetry competition, the GPS Open Poetry Competition 2026, which opens on the 1st of July to the 30th of September. And we have the Stroud-based poet Kate Potts as the judge. Apparently, GPS Friendship members can enter 3 poems for free, so there's another reason to become a member of the GPS if you fancy entering the poetry competition. Right, those are all the announcements for the second half. And I have got a poem for you, which is kind of alluding a little bit to the imagination spectrum that I talked about, that Suzy and I share. She at one end, I at the other. This is called I Wish I'd Known. I wish I'd known there was an imagination spectrum, that constant fidgeting is emotional regulation. I wish I'd known that fitting in is not belonging and I have a choice. That being too kind, too honest, too nice are strengths. That an interest-based nervous system isn't just in the mind. That time management isn't binary, just like gender identity. That there's more to motivation than urgent and important for me. I wished I'd known that I'm not wrong to feel as much as I do. That being sensitive isn't a slight against you. That hyperfocus was a thing. Novelty seeking is not distraction. That contemplation is not procrastination. That the next step is not the final destination. I wish I'd known that people pleasing and freezing are survival responses too. And I'd wish I'd known that finding my identity was the only way to feel at home. I wish I'd known that I'd find my tribe through poetry sooner than I did, but I thank my lucky stars that finally I have. That's for you, Jason, at Crafty Crows and all the poets here as well. So, welcome to the second half. We've heard a lot from Gerald Kells, but we haven't heard his poetry yet. So you are first on the open mic, Gerald. Are you ready?
I thought I wasn't, but never
Oh
mind.
my goodness, I'm looking at the wrong list.
You are. The list I saw, there were 2 in front of me.
You're right, but you know what? I've called you up now, so go. Go if you're ready.
Okay, I am ready.
And I'll change the list.
Exotic holidays. Tired of Nottingham and Bristol, Cardiff and London? Try something different on booking.com. I'm not talking Thailand or Azerbaijan. They're now listing homes of Palestinians. But no need to worry. There's no one around. They're owned by Israelis, and I've always found they're kind and obliging, do all that they can as long as you don't ask, where are the Palestinians? That's called exotic holiday, and that is absolutely true. And I'm just going to mention, before I do my other poem, if you haven't come across it, there's a book called When the World Sleeps, just come out by Francesca Albanese, who is the UN rapporteur for the Palestinian territories. And it is an amazing book, well worth the read. But the other poem I'm going to do, I do some political and as well as funny poems. And one of the things I was thinking about is sometimes you don't want to look at the news because you don't want to look at it because it's too difficult, and also because you feel powerless. And sometimes, particularly among people who are actively political, admitting that is hard to do. Don't want to admit that actually, yeah, I don't want to do that. So this poem is about that feeling, and I introduce it like that because if that's how you feel sometimes, that is, and Suzy talked about it a bit about the environment, and that comes into this. So this poem is called Planting Gooseberries, and it's one I've been doing recently. Planting gooseberries. There is something small and insignificant about what I am doing today. I am planting a bush, patting down the soil, mulching it with compost, watering it, pulling up the grass and sycamores round the hole to give it space. Does this matter to the world? Whether the sun nourishes it, the rain wets it, whether photosynthesis turns brown to green, sour to sweet, harsh to succulent, whether we have gooseberries later. None of these actions change very much. My gooseberry cannot stop wars from happening, rainforests from burning, children from starving, stocks from falling, the woman 2 doors down from turning off her heating. Those torrents of Facebook hatred that plant a future as if it were inevitable. So why do I waste my time on this enterprise, this insignificant act? Gardening as if we were still in Eden, as if each serrated leaf, each thorn-crowned stem were not Calvary's bud, but born of innocence, as if hope were redeemable, as if the grave could open to a mythical spring. It is a question I ask as I watch the slow movement of sun across sky, of shadow across shadow, of a bird landing, an imperceptible bud growing. Then I remember that you were mistaken for a gardener once, just as you were mistaken for a warmonger now. We plant to grow, I think. We plant because winter never lasts. Thank you, that's me.
Thank you, Gerald. Thank you very much for responding to my spontaneity and lack of reading lists. You know how much I love them. And apologies, Palowski, you were due to be the first up, but you're up next. Are you ready?
I am ready,
There
and no
we go.
problem at all, no worries. I just would like to thank Suzy Aspell for the wonderful, poignant, and very important poetry that was shared. So I think that was very important that we have voices like this. I Before I read the poem that I will share, I would like to issue a disclaimer because it deals with abuse of a child. And so for those who I'll just give everybody just a minute and before I start. And in that minute, I'll explain why I'm sharing this poem. We're celebrating Pride Month here. And Pride Month is not having pride is not something that is easily achieved. by a lot of people for a lot of challenges. And so this poem I am sharing is titled Father and Son. I learned of hate from my father when I was still young enough to dream in painterly pastels and believe that I was most dear to him as he was to me. I recall a cool evening in spring. Passionately, I pranced across the living room floor. Swept away in fantasy, my shirt became a crown of flowing hair. I was a flame, dancing, diaphanous, a colorful dream spinning through aqua air, happy, beautiful, enchanting. His voice boomed, breaking the magic moment. No, father shouted, not this. My son will not be this. His venom sprayed like fire. It burned my soul, singed my spirit. I learned that father could be a dragon, fear beyond any nightmare. He could roar like violent thunder, make me tremble like a weed. You're soft, limp-wristed, light on your feet. Ain't no fags in this family. My son ain't gonna be no sissy. I'll beat it out of you. He said those words, said what he meant, followed through, and beat me far away from him, and I never quite recovered. But that is a scene from a time long gone. 5 years ago, my father passed. Nothing resolved, no healing. He was beyond the mystery of me. I was authentic. He was unyielding, leaving me half the man he wanted me to be, but wholly myself, strong, resilient, brave, true. Thank you for allowing me to share.
So important for you to share that poetry here, Palowski. Thank you so much and giving us the perspective. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Next on the open mic, we have Jenna Plewes. Jenna, we'd love to hear you.
Thank you. And I've really enjoyed hearing people, and especially your poems, Suzy. And this is another poem on the same sort of lines. Tipping point. We teeter on a tipping point, staring at the stars. Beneath our feet, the steady pulse of time, weaving eon after eon, the fragile web of life, ice age after ice age, pummeling the earth. Beneath our feet, the steady pulse of time, the birth of microscopic life, a soup of cells, ice age after ice age, pummeling the earth, lichens inching onto rock, plankton thickening the sea. The birth of microscopic life, a soup of cells dividing, building, dying, and rebuilding, lichens inching onto rock, plankton thickening the sea, creatures crawling onto land, feathering the air. Dividing, building, dying, and rebuilding, giving us orcas, antelopes, and owls, creatures crawling onto land, feathering the air. All that we take for granted, assume is ours to use. Giving us orcas, antelopes, and owls, forests and savannas, mountains that pierce the sky, all that we take for granted, assume is ours to use, a playground for humanity, sweet shop for our greed. Forests and savannas, mountains that pierce the sky, wild and untamed beauty, shrinking before our eyes. A playground for humanity, sweet shop for our greed. We trample and destroy the weave we stand upon. Wild and untamed beauty, shrinking before our eyes. We poison oceans, rape the soil, make this unique world a playground for humanity, sweet shop for our greed. We teeter on a tipping point, staring at the stars. I think probably that's used up my time because it's quite a long one.
Do you know, I think you poets are underestimating how much time you take today, leaving us all wanting more. But that was lovely, Jenna. Thank you so much. We have got Robert Punton next on the open mic. Rob, are you ready?
I am indeed, thank you. Great night, and on the theme I'm going to read the poem I've just wrote today. It's called The River. The river is life reflected through nature, sourced from the earth and rock, like babies are born from nature. When both born are weak and shallow, blinking into the world bright-eyed, only when they grow do they become bigger, stronger, and deeper. They mold the world around them if strong enough, never allowing the world to shape them, pull them from their course. Hopefully, people can grow up doing the same, from baby to child to adult. People live around rivers. People live off rivers. People live. Rivers live off people. People love. People lived off the river. People feed off the river. The river feeds all. Rivers put pollution. Rivers get polluted and poisoned. People get polluted and poisoned. People need rivers to survive. Rivers need people to thrive. Sorry, technical issues. Bear with me. Rivers drive the world. People travel via rivers. Rivers are the natural way to get to from A to B and beyond. You cannot tell the currents. You cannot tell that currents are causing havoc under the surface. So it is best to always go carefully. The same is said of people. On the face of things, life can seem calm. Under the skin, no one can tell how someone is feeling, so it is important to tread carefully. When the weather is calm, The river runs smoothly when the weather is stormy. The river can be dangerous. The same can be said of human life. There are days when it is smooth sailing. There are days when life is a rough ride. Oops. Yeah. The trick is to take the rough and the smooth and carry on regardless. At the end of its journey, the river flows off into the sea to be lost into the vastness of the planet. Oops, sorry again. Oops. At the end of the day, humans flow off into everything and nothing to be lost in the vastness of the universe, which is why the life of a river and the life of a human is so alike. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you very much. We were on that journey with you. Thank you. We have got Beth next on the open mic. Beth, are you ready?
Yes, I am. Thank you. I'm going to read this first one for you, actually, Kate, because of what you sort of said at the beginning of the evening about your mother-in-law. My mum also suffered from Alzheimer's, and this is a poem about that. It's called The Necklace. My mother holds the necklace in her hand, a gift from a grandson who loves her. She has forgotten, again, that it is hers. She sits, twists the rope around her fingers, explores each bead, the knots between. This object of her veneration is like a rosary of her life, each bright decade a set of memories she can no longer thread into biography, but which, held in the hand, is marvelled over, made new with every touch. And then I have, given the themes that appear to be emerging, I have two really brief poems, and they are both about the environment. The first one actually is also an ekphrastic poem, and it's based on a painting called Los Moscas by Mark Bradford, and it's in the Tate Modern. And the poem is called No Hiding Place. We are here, hidden in the lines and the pixelated bursts of colour, pulse of the city, hearts beating in the night. The drone's eye maps us, estimates the height and depth of all those places to which we go, thinking ourselves hidden. Like moths pulled to the light, we flutter in the green spaces. Our heat shines through, illuminates, gives us away to something out there, which steadies its gaze, takes aim, fires. And the next one is a poem which is based on an advertisement by the Bakelite Corporation many, many years ago. And it said, "Plastic is a fourth kingdom whose boundaries are unlimited." And the poem is called We Made a New World. There is a plastic bag at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Think of it as a monument to the laws of unintended consequences. Call it Exhibit A. A trillion microfragments line the ice of the Arctic Sea. Call them Exhibit B. In the guts of albatrosses, Exhibit C. Mountains of PVC, PET, PS, PP, PE, enough to challenge Everest. Exhibit D. Our fourth kingdom, more than animal, greater than mineral, less nourishing than vegetable, its boundaries unlimited. Thank you.
Oh, Beth, thank you so much for your poetry, picking up the themes, and yeah, I appreciate you sharing them. That was lovely. Ah, gosh, you're moving us all tonight with the words and the emotions. Thank you, everyone. Next on our open mic, we've got Nicholas McGaughey. I hope I said your name right there, Nicholas.
Yes, it's near enough.
It'll do.
Good enough for me. Yeah, when my mother was 80, I asked her what she wanted to do, and she said she wanted to go to Flanders Fields to see all the places that her father had fought in the First World War. So for 3 days, we became war tourists, and this is a poem about that time. Under the healing green, the tombs and towns of folly lie. War is art, magnified in museums. Shells surrender to chessmen, vase and filigree. We know men by the bits they left behind. Scraps of tunic and hobnail, postcards of Parisiennes and scrawled reassurance, mess tins, dog tags, a testament, youth. Graveyards are cruel orchards here, carved with surnames and numbers of giddy men who fell as boys, first time abroad. We point and marvel, but freeze-frame smiles seem out of place here at the gate, where nightly remembrance is clarioned and 700 strangers stand. All quiet now, with only crows to worry a sky, where stones bled fields of poppies never-ending, that stare at pilgrims, charging with their brollies fixed towards a line of cars, before rain, and perhaps a spot of lunch. Thank you.
Well, I could listen to you all night, Nicholas, frankly. Thank you so much. Beautiful poem and so well read. Oh, I'm very excited. Next, it's Sue Butler on the open mic. Sue, are you ready?
I am, Kate. Thank you. And it was perhaps coincidence that these poems from my book Saltings respond to what you were saying earlier about your recent life and your mother-in-law, and also linked to Beth's poem. So this first one relates to, was inspired by something that happened to my father's business partner. A man is coming home full of emptiness. It's after The Table by Edith Cansever. He has trodden mud from the building site right across the kitchen floor before they have time to ask where his shoes are, how he drove in those old things, heavy and clarted. He puts down his keys. Then his coat right there, scattering cutlery set for supper. He puts down the hen house that did for their first office, its persistent smell of sun-warmed hen shit and scrubbing water. Adds the spec for their first job, the cheap paper rubbed smooth, parting at the creases. He puts down pre-senile, silently practices letting it out of his mouth. Pre-senile. He puts down their first office dinner, bow ties, homemade long dresses, everything sheeny as silver for the 25 years business he wishes they'd reached. He puts down his slide rule, the familiar braille of tenths and whole numbers passed between thumbs and forefingers. Puts down the foundation stone, ready at the back of the workshop for the bishop to bless. Pre-senile, sudden, a hand on a wasp hidden in the bedclothes. And this second one, I think, is self-explanatory. Choosing photos in the day room. Care staff call the chef from the kitchen to see how pretty you were, how slim in that fitted bodice, exclaim at the patience it must have taken to hook all those buttons, satin and slithery, into their rouleau hoops. I remember the top in my dressing up box, the last rags of the skirt in the duster bag and the dog basket. You pick a photo for your 100th birthday album. Rub my father's face as if to feel his beard rash, his acne scars. Is that Patrick, you ask? Hold up your hand to show us the ring, worn thin as an old paperclip, dimpling the flesh. Make me promise not to let it go into the fire. Thank you. Had a lovely evening. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Sue. People saying in the chat, wonderful craft, and I can say your book is stunning. So you should put a link in the chat for people to buy.
I did put it in earlier.
Amazing. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Kate.
Next on the open mic, we've got Alan Mansell. Alan, are you ready? Good.
Good evening. I've got two to do actually. Both are in public domain as it happens, but it's a bit similar to the sort of the themes that have come through in what I've been hearing. The first one's called "The Call of the Stones," and was written when I was on holiday in southwest Scotland. Several years after, just couldn't get the place out of my mind. The Call of the Stones. Summoned through the eons by lingering ether-born wails, I trod the mystic stone-studded Maccas, a jewelled thin place of the Celtic cross, tumbling cairns and riddles that dance reels in set circles. A tourhouse, a granite ring of 19, raised by beliefs of ancients forgotten. Time-hazed alignments still tell tales of a dark seasoned sky. Myths of galactic phenomena, perhaps sparring Andromeda, chained to a far ocean shore rock. For Cetus, thwarted by Perseus, the heavenly slayer of monsters. Or were the conquered shackled here to these star-mapped stones and sacrificed to gods unknown? Do balladeers sing of the return of a king now at rest beneath a central three, who for a needy's realm's throne will draw truth's sword from stone? I travelled on to hushed Garliston, where evening tides smuggle whispers of a concrete block secret tested to order. The high altar of freedom to Normandy towed, with the fair youth of nations in khaki robed for a breaking dawn ritual of slaughter. Each dog-tagged name beach harvested and inscribed in these distant neat mown rows. In Wigtown's churchyard quiet, iron-railed mossed white stones tell of two martyred Margarets, covenant bound to a tide-swallowed stake, for faith in the God who offered himself, Christ the cornerstone. Very interesting place. That's that area, indeed. There are so many wonderful places in the British Isles with so much history. And the second one is just titled December 2024. Foxes' fur thickens. Hedgehogs dream in deepest sleep until warmth's return. Late morning melts frost. Hungry beaks peck softened ground. Dusk arrives too soon. Snow levels roof sheet, hiding the corrugations, masks asbestos threat. Lion devours trees. Broken branch bones lie licked clean. Winter gale roars by. Blooms out of season. Early bulb heads protest, shout, 1.5 degrees.
Thank you so much, Alan. Really enjoyed those poems. Thank you. Getting some great themes coming out tonight. Well, you thought that was the end, didn't you, folks? But I'm here to tell you we have 3 more poets who have stepped up to the mic, and I couldn't be more delighted that one of them is Jason Conway, who sits quietly in behind the scenes making it all work perfectly, and I just muddle my way through. Here's Jason to share some words with you.
Thank you. I've just been inspired to read. I've been exhausted today because I'm recovering from a frozen shoulder and 5 months in. So, yeah, but thank you, Suzy. You've given me the energy to read tonight. Both of these were prompted by a workshop recently on a course that I'm currently studying on. And it's about the games people play. And there's themes of climate, bro culture, manosphere, AI. So the first one is called Book Pass. Take a deer to the clearing. Ask if it chewed the sapling. Write down the answer. Be sure to nod in agreement. Take another deer. Ask the same. Repeat the question daily until all the deer are questioned. All the saplings are stripped. State, no deer were responsible. All deer responded honestly. Vote to bury the issue. Send deer on a woodland management course. Plant more acorns. And my last one is called Early Bird. Arrive at first light, iPad and body primed. Drain the cafetiere, leave mugs behind. Pour respect down drain. Smile wide, puff chest. Polish shoes to a mirror, ask, who is the fairest? Smile, say you're the boss. Keep brain in a sock. Bend yourself backwards, blow smoke in a box. Recite. Ring a roses, a rocket for the bros, a tissue, wipe yourself down. Seek out uncut backs, wear surgeon's gloves, squeeze cheeks tight, crack walnuts. Be the big bird, shit from a height, stab all the worms, hail, it's just business, psych. Thank you.
Yay, so pleased you came to the open mic, Jason. Thank you. And 2 more poets asked if they could read, and you know what? I'm greedy, so yes, you can. I want to hear more. David Thompson, you're next, and then we've got Gareth to finish the show tonight. David, are you ready? Are you surprised?
I'm very surprised, yeah.
Over to you.
Taken me completely
Sorry.
off guard.
Do you want a minute to get ready?
No.
You're okay.
I'm going to read something from Steve Wheeler's Wheel Song Poetry Anthology, the 8th edition, which has just appeared. Probably some of you are in it. And all the proceeds go to charity, so it's well worth contributing to. This is a lulling, gentle sort of poem. And for some people, it's going to make them very unhappy because it's a villanelle and it rhymes. I always liked, it's called A Drink on the Veranda. I always liked the symmetry. You with me, I'm more than content. It feels like happiness to me. We know the evening's alchemy, action, reaction, heaven sent. I always liked the symmetry. So wait, burn slow in amity. Time for a drink, we said. We meant. It feels like happiness to me. Verandas prompt philosophy, and thought expands with dusk's descent. I always liked the symmetry. We talk, relaxed, desultory, chasing the scars the day's work lent. It feels like happiness to me. And with the darker panoply of stars and fire until we're spent, I always liked the symmetry. It feels like happiness to me.
Again, another one I didn't want to end, but that's the thing with the villanelle. It stops just at that point. And it was beautiful. Beautifully read, David. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gareth, you have the honour of being the last poet on the open mic tonight. How does that feel? Are you there? You've come off mute, so I know you are there.
Are you wearing a headset or something?
Can we hear you, Gareth? Are you able to give us... Yeah, something's not joining up, is it? I can see you've come off mute. I'm going to just wait a minute or two. Let us know if you're there.
We want Gareth. We want Gareth.
You are there. Hooray! We can't hear you, though. I don't know what's happening. Did you want to read, Gareth? Can you try and speak? It would be a shame not to hear you. Oh, I don't think it's going to work tonight. Sorry that we can't hear you tonight, Gareth. That's such a shame.
You
But I
have
think
headphones on, you could maybe take off.
yes, you can hear us. It's not going to work that way, Gareth. We have to hear you. Is there a poem you want to share in the chat, and I'll read it out for you? Let's try and find a way to make this happen. Let's not be defeated. Here we are. You've shared something in the chat. Monsters celebrate Pride Month. Would you like me to read that for you? I like reading other people's poems. Let's do this. The following poem contains references to conservatives, and bear in mind I've not had a chance to practice this, so let's see how it goes. Monsters celebrate Pride Month, with witches holding hands as they fly on their brooms, looking down on many lands. Monsters, celebrate Pride Month like those under your bed, but they'll be having dinner under there instead of bringing dread. Monsters, celebrate Pride Month, so rising from their tombs are two male ghosts getting married, two happy, spectral grooms. Monsters, celebrate Pride Month, two male slashers share a kiss before hunting conservative lawmakers. Oh, they're going to enjoy this. That was Monsters celebrating Pride Month, and then Mr. Venus flytrap during Pride Month. Mr. Venus flytrap during the month of June remembers something he refuses to forget anytime soon. He's Mr. Venus flytrap. He's proud of who he is. He's proud he has his loving boyfriend, and they both hate capitalists. So Mr. Venus flytrap will proudly display the rainbow in his shop window. In fact, it's here to stay. There you go. We love Gareth's poems. They make me smile, so they were great fun to read. I'm sorry we didn't get to hear you, Gareth. You're getting lots of comments in the chat. People appreciate your poetry. Well, this has been Crafty Crows June edition, where Suzy's web strung stung our conscience, illuminated our imagination, and the open mic poets stunned us with their poetic presence. It's been an honour to be witness and host to this first summer show. Remember, if you liked it, pop a donation over to Crafty Crows. It helps our community flourish and grow. I love writing spontaneous poetry. You guys have been brilliant, and I have just enjoyed the whole night. Can we do it all again sometime soon? What do you reckon? Maybe not in June, but remember the next one is going to be, I'm just going to go back to my notes. It's going to be the 1st of July, and we'll have the feature will be Lucy Heushen, and yeah, be there or don't be here. That's the end of tonight. Thank you everyone for reading.
Thank you.